Molly.
And I'm Patrick. And
And
together, we're the Steam Nerdies.
Welcome to our channel.
So, some of you know who I am from my gaming channel. This is my fiance Molly. And this first video we're doing is going to be an introduction of how we met and how we got to where we are now.
Yes. So, I guess I can start the story of how we met because it started with me. Our mutual friend, we play a game, both of us were playing a game, and a mutual friend of ours, her name's Allie, she's really awesome, said, after I got out of a really bad relationship, said, hey, I have this guy, I want you to meet him. I was like, ugh, another guy kind of thing, because I was in that place in my life, and so she gave me Patrick's screen name, and I saw him pop on one day, and so I was like, so, hey, how's it going? And I flirted with him, and I think he liked me pretty quickly, but I'm not sure. I thought he was way too nice for me. So.
She keeps saying that.
But it's okay. I think it works out for the best. And so we talked for, I think, about 2 months. And then we, like during the first month, we knew we wanted to meet each other. So he came and visited me right after the New Year's. And
that was an interesting drive.
He lives really far away. Well, he did live really far away.
Yeah, that wasn't that far. I mean, it was just an interesting drive.
Yep. But he got here really late at night, and I ended up still meeting him at the hotel for the first time. Because that was what we planned on, meeting each other, and he was really crabby.
Yeah, it took me, I think, 8 or 9 hours for a 6.5, 7 hour drive. At least that's what it was supposed to be. The odds weren't in my favor.
Of course, you're horrible at planning things. Yes.
That's a story for another time. Yeah.
But I think my first impressions of him were, okay, this guy's really crabby, but he seems really nice. And we started talking. We stayed up late talking then. And then we had our first date the next day, which was, I work at a theater. So he came and saw the show that we were doing at the theater. And he really enjoyed it, like a lot. Like he couldn't stop.
Really good show.
Couldn't stop talking about it. And we went out to a really nice dinner. And I think after that I was like, oh yeah, I really like this guy. It wasn't instantaneous for me. Like when I first met him, I was like, oh, he's really nice. And he's super cute. And that was about it. So, and since I had just gotten out of a really horrible relationship, that makes the most sense why I was responding to him that way. So we spent a really fun 3 days, 3 or 4, it was 3-ish days,
Friday,
3.5.
Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday, and then I went home Sunday morning or afternoon because I had to work the following Monday.
Yeah.
So
it was hard saying goodbye. I was surprised. And I told him, well, we'll just keep things open, and if we'll see where this goes. But I literally wanted to say, I want to be your girlfriend, but I wanted him to ask. So I was like, oh, well, we'll just see where this goes. And I kept him on the, I was just like, oh, whatever. We'll see where this goes. But it was funny.
yes, it was.
So what happened after you went home? Or what was your experience of the event?
Well, other than a much longer drive than it should have been going down, it was a fun weekend. I'm a student at Southern New Hampshire University, so I was, while she was working, doing my classwork and things like that. So I was able to fill the time she wasn't around by doing my schoolwork, and we went and saw a couple things. We went, like she said, we went and saw the show, had dinner at a pretty nice local restaurant, and yeah, it was a really good weekend. I think we had. Did we see the movie Sunday morning?
We saw it Monday morning because we were trying to do something.
Was it Monday?
I thought it was Monday because we were trying to do something. That
Well, maybe I did. Maybe I did go home Monday morning. Because that's right.
We had breakfast and then we went to go
because
see
Monday
a
at the time was my one day off. That's right. So I went home Monday morning instead of Sunday, like I thought, and then we had lunch at a local sushi place, and yeah, that was a tough goodbye. The second visit was no different in terms of the goodbye.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think I cried more the second time.
Yes, I think it's an accurate.
And I
assessment.
think we made a decision at the end of that we didn't want to do the distance thing anymore. So
Right.
It was all like, okay, I have a very good job, and I love my job. So, and Patrick's job was not. I mean, you had a really pretty decent job, but I mean...
I did, but it was a situation where I was kind of in a position where I was being abused because I do go in early, I'd stay late, I would run in anytime they asked me to, things like that, and then they were taking advantage of it, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, he couldn't get vacation to come see me. They denied him the vacation he requested off. I remember being very upset about that because you were supposed to be here Valentine's Day weekend.
Oh, that's right.
And then,
and
the
it
second
was like
time.
2 weeks, a week later or 2 weeks later that I actually was able to go.
And there was a massive snowstorm that we had here, so... And he met my parents the second week. Not massive for him, but it was
snowstorms down here, nothing like where I'm from. We won't even hold that comparison. Although I will say this last winter locally, we had one storm that dumped 2.5 feet in a 24-hour period, and that was interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting day.
Yeah, that was another interesting work story, but it'll be done another time.
Yes.
Maybe on my other channel.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah, I looked into finding a job down here, got one, and moved at the end of April.
Yep.
No, end of March, early April?
I think it was April, yeah. So
Something
you've been
like
here
that.
a year now. I've been in Pennsylvania.
Stayed with a friend of hers for a few months. And where we are now, where we're recording, and it's almost a year now.
Yeah.
In this particular location.
Yeah.
And things have gone fairly well for us.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's been fun. We've had a lot of fun experiences and done some really cool things. I guess I should say that in my job, I do it outside of work too. I do costuming. So I help costume. I'm a sewer and a cutter at my job. So I just cut and sew things. But outside of work, I do my own personal costumes. So that's something I'm very passionate about. And I got Patrick into it a little bit with some steampunk and getting him excited about some Lord of the Rings stuff that we had talked about. So we do some costuming, and I made him a green cloak.
Yeah, for the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
This last year.
We did Big Bad Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood for their Halloween theme day.
Or as I dub it, the Not So Big Bad Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood.
Who's pretty evil. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I'm not going there. So, that being said, that leads into October, thereabouts.
Yeah.
And she knew it was coming.
I knew, because we had been talking about it, and like my dad, I told him he had to ask my dad for permission, and my dad wasn't picking up his phone, so Patrick told me that I've tried calling your dad, but he's just not answering, and I was like, oh, okay, and then so I called my mom, because my dad's not picking up, my mom will pick up, so I was like, where's Dad? Oh, he's right here. Tell him to pick up his phone. So while I was on the phone talking to my mom, Patrick called my dad, and my mom's.
I happened to be, I think I was working in Maryland at the time with my job.
Yeah.
And was overnight in a hotel. Finally got that call through to ask permission to.
You wanted to do it in person.
To propose to Molly here.
Right.
And I really wanted to do it in person, but me trying to plan free time to do anything is disastrous. It's just anytime I plan anything, it falls through. So anytime we record these, it's kind of impromptu, or she's decided when it's going to be, because if I try to plan it,
it won't work.
It won't work. My best friend knows this because she and I both have the same disease when it comes to trying to plan things, and plans just going.
I try to plan things with her, and it never works out. But we're learning. I'm learning just to do spontaneous things.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Got permission to propose to Molly, and the original plan had been to propose on Halloween, because I figured that local trick-or-treating was on Halloween night. You know, Halloween trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
They usually go hand in hand. And it wasn't the case. It
Halloween
was
trick-or-treating
Friday
night
or
was
Saturday
the day before.
It was Friday or Saturday night,
Yeah.
and Halloween was Sunday or Monday. It was a weird year. It was a weird day this year. That's all I remember.
There was a football game. That's why they changed trick-or-treating night.
So I ran into a snafu. Here we go again. Planning things. I went and got everything I needed to work out my plan.
He had the ring at the time, so I was proud of him.
Because I got the idea from one of the women I work with, because she knew that Molly and I both like Halloween. And it was to put the ring box in a candy treat bag, and to hold the bag aside and give it to her in the middle of the night, end of the night, whatever. The original plan was the middle of the night, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So, again, I figured, trick-or-treating's Halloween night. So I asked for that off originally at work, and that wasn't the case. So I had to quickly change plans. And I put in the request off in time for it to have been acknowledged and granted, and they still scheduled me the night I requested off, and I just about lost it, because this is, again, things that I planned blowing up in my face, and we'd already worked out with her best friend that she was going to come over and take pictures of
our costumes. That's what she told me.
Or the real idea was to get pictures of the ring in her in the moment. And so I got really irritated, because it's like I bought like $100 worth of candy. I've got the treat bags. She helped me put the treat bags together, and she was complaining about it the entire time, because it's like, it's too much candy. Blah, 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 blah.
Because we get about 200 kids, a little less than 200 kids at where we're located. So bags of candy with like 4 or 5 pieces of candy in it is expensive, and I knew we didn't have a ton of money at the time, so I was like, why are we doing this? This is ridiculous. I was so mad. But
it was worth it, though.
But it was worth it, because like we had a lot of kids be super happy that they're getting a bag, so I was excited about that.
Which is, when I was brought up, that was one of the things I always looked forward to, was the houses that did something like that. And it's once a year, so I honestly really didn't have a problem with it. Plus, I needed to be able to hide the ring in a candy bag. So it winds up working out that they were able to get somebody in so that I could have the night off. which was a good thing because I probably would have said, I'm not coming in, toodaloo,
The funniest
because
part of the
everybody
story,
knew that I was doing this.
I started to suspect things when he got upset because he texted me and he said, they scheduled me for work, it's going to ruin the whole night. And I was like, Karis is just coming over to watch Arsenic and Old Lace with me and hand out candy, and you were just going to join us on our, because like our Halloween, me and my best friend's Halloween tradition is to watch Arsenic Old Lace, hand out candy to kids, and kind of keep track of the costumes of the kids, because we like to like count how many Supermans or Spider-Mans or whoever it is.
Yeah.
Like, what's the popular costume of the year? And like, so we had already planned on having her come over, so that was the big thing.
So I do wind up getting it off, and one of the reasons I was upset too, not only because of the proposal, I was looking forward to handing out candy and seeing the costumes, because some of them are good, some of them are, you know, your typical run-of-the-mill, but it's one of those fun things that it's one of my favorite holidays, and trick-or-treating, even if it's not on Halloween night, is still part of the holiday. So, back to the point where I said I was planning on giving planning and proposing to her in the middle of trick-or-treating after an hour. That really didn't work. We actually had enough kids all night long that
There was never breaks.
Yeah, there wasn't really a long enough break for me to do it, and I didn't want it to interrupt the handing out of candy for that, because while the parents might get it, the kids wouldn't.
Yeah.
So she was getting more and more wound up as the night went on.
Because I thought it was going to happen in the beginning of the night, because Karis was like, let's go outside and take some pictures of you guys in your costumes, and I kept like posing, and he was standing kind of behind me, so I assumed he was going to get down on one knee and propose to me right then, but he didn't do it. And so I was like, I just not that traditional. And I was just like, okay, I guess that's not going to happen. And so, like, and here I was thinking how stupid I was, because my best friend told me to look nice, so I assumed I told her to tell me when it was going to happen to make sure I look nice. And she's like, you should do your makeup and hair tonight and make sure you look cute. And I was like, okay. So I had done my hair, makeup, and like extra, and when it didn't happen then, I got real frustrated. And I ended up handing out candy in the beginning, and then I was going to cook dinner. I cooked dinner for Karis and Patrick, and went back to the kitchen and was cooking dinner. I was just banging pots and pans because I was just dumb. I was like, you're so dumb. I can't believe I built this up in my head.
In the meantime, Karis and I are chuckling in the living room as Arsenic and Old Lace is on, because we knew she was getting irritated because she had an idea that it was coming, and just the sheer fact she was that wound up was kind of amusing. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I finally calmed down though, and like towards the end of the trick-or-treating, and I started to take off my costume and just relax, because I was wearing a corset, and those things get uncomfortable after a couple hours. So I was like, I'm gonna take this off. So I started taking off parts of my costume, and I was talking to Karis. And Patrick just came out and sat on a chair, and he was just looking at me. He's like, "Oh, got you a candy bag." And I was
I didn't even say that. I just handed her a bag of candy, which I had in my pocket, and I just handed it over to her. It's like, here, this is for you.
And I thought it was a prank at that point. Like, I was just so annoyed. So, anyways, and I was like, really? Okay, candy? Thanks. You know, kind of thing. And so he's like, open it. And I was like, okay. So I started to open it, and he had stuffed it full of candy. So I had to get out the candy before I even got to the ring. And I almost, like, as I was pulling out, I was telling him how angry I was, because I realized that he was proposing to me at that point. And so I was telling him how angry I was. And then I finally found the box in there, and I couldn't get it out.
And she's laughing, and she's crying, and she's mad all at the same time. And Karis is taking pictures, and I'm just laughing at this point, because
as soon as I got that velvet box out, I handed it to him. I said, your turn. I made him ask me. And then I said, I guess so. He said, will you marry me? And I was like, I guess so. Just because I felt...
Which is her answer for yes.
Yes. I did say yes, but he knew it was a yes. He probably didn't even have to ask, but I would have said yes.
Yeah, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion for both of us.
Yeah.
She picked out her ring, and that's mostly because there is no way I ever would have been able to pick out the type of ring she picked out. And you'll see a picture of that in one of these corners at some point, up close, so that you all can see what it looks like.
He likes traditional. I like antique and vintage.
Very non-traditional rings.
I didn't even get anything with a diamond. I got something that wasn't a diamond. It has little diamonds, but it's not. The main stone is morganite, and it's pink. It's just my favorite color. If you couldn't have guessed.
Yeah, in case you couldn't tell. The video will need a little cleaning up to be able to bring the pink back out in her hair, but I can do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's pretty much our story thus far.
Yeah.
We have our venue, we have our caterer, and all these things planned out. Our big day is going to be October 15th of this year.
We're super excited. At least I'm getting more excited, but I'm ready to be here already.
We're also a little overwhelmed because we've determined that, yep, it's crunch time and there's not enough days in the week to get everything done. Especially with me working the job that I'm working, plus online schooling, her job, and...
Yeah, my job is a little demanding, so... But it's nice. I only work 4 days a week, and then I have an extra day on the weekend to actually get things done, but I actually have not been doing anything I should be. I mean, I've done, like, pre-stuff, but nothing officially. Like, he helped me with cater and everything like that, but I think...
Yeah, because I'm not allowed to involve myself in planning. I'm allowed to help in execution, in building things and making things. I can't have anything to do with planning at all. Because, as we've mentioned before, if I plan anything...
Which has been very stressful for me because I ask his opinion on things and he's like, and I'm like, just say yay or nay, please.
Or I give the old adage, armpits. Opinions are like arseholes. No, opinions are like arseholes and armpits. Everybody has them and they all stink. Anyway.
But yeah.
We're going to wrap up this vlog. And I'm sure some of you are wondering what's going on with the unicorns in back.
I call him my unicorn man. Well, boyfriend. And he's out, we have like a mild...
Boyfriend?
Well, a fiance, but that's what we originally were, the unicorn boyfriend.
And, yeah, they're mine, not hers.
Yes.
And those aren't the biggest.
Yes, we have another one. She'll make an appearance, probably when we bring... I have a giant... My favorite animal is a panda.
Christmas gift this last year.
So we both got each other giant stuffed animals.
But that's a story for another vlog.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been Patrick.
I'm Molly.
And we've been the Steam Nerdies, and we will hopefully see you around for the next video. If you like what you've seen and are interested to see more, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll have more content for you as fast as we can release it.
Yep. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.